Good evening and welcome to the Scarf Bergara War County Ladies podcast, episode 4. We are doing something slightly different tonight. We've got a fan guest with us, but before we get on to introduce our fan guest, I've got first team gaffer Steve O'Hara with us as usual. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm okay, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Very well. Nearly got blown away at the football on Sunday, but yeah, all good.
Yeah,
all good.
Seems to be a bit of a trend at the moment. SSV, doesn't it? That wind.
Yeah, there's some
just non-stop.
Some nasty weather. And
definitely.
our first fan guest, James Pratt. James, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm very good. How are you both? Good?
Yes, very well.
James,
thank you. Very well.
Very good.
So thanks for joining us, James. First
Pleasure.
fan guest we've had, so a bit of a trailblazer.
No pressure.
No pressure. So you'll probably know James from being the stadium announcer at SSV, but James is joining us as a fan guest tonight, and we're going to dissect. Well, we've got quite a bit to dissect actually tonight. We've got the Tranmere game, the Durham game, Barnsley, Middlesbrough, Cheadle, and Chester games, and the Donny game from Sunday just gone. Gentlemen, County Ladies, James, how long have you been watching County Ladies, mate?
So this is my second season now. So I think I was a little bit late to the party in the first season, maybe a month or two behind. But yeah, second season now. So well into it. Know all the names finally. Taking me 2 years. But yeah. Very good.
Cool. Steve, quick question for you actually, mate. How long have you been the manager now? Is it 2 years, 3 years?
3 years. This is
3 years.
Yeah, so I joined in January. It was 2021, might be 4 years, might be 4 years, 2021 maybe.
Time flies.
It's 3 full seasons. Yeah. I think at the end of the season, it'll be 3 full seasons.
Right,
so,
brilliant.
So yeah, I think it might be 2021 when I joined. So
cool.
Yeah, and it to be quite honest, it's gone quite quick. That then 3 years. So
yeah, bet it has. Bet it has. It's certainly been a lot achieved on the pitch and off it for County Ladies, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I think from when I took over to where we are now, definitely I think we've made strides. We're in a bit of a difficult situation at the moment with where we are in the league, and very frustrating. But I'm sure that happens to most teams. Look at Man City in the professional game, in the men's game. They're struggling. So it is frustrating. But it's still enjoyable trying to work it all out.
Yeah.
And I think I'm sure we'll get onto the Donny game, but that was an important point for us on Sunday, and hopefully give us confidence going into 2 trips to the northeast.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you're saying about a sticky patch there, but it's only 2 defeats since Christmas, and by slender margins, both 1-0, and games that arguably you could have got a point out of.
But yeah, definitely, and first and second in the league as well.
Yeah, exactly. 12 goals in 7 games. So, and you got games in hand on the teams above you. So, there's still a lot to play for.
There's still a hell of a lot to play for, and we've still got to play all the teams in and around us as well. Fylde, York, Norton. Who else we got to play there? York, Norton, Durham. We've got to go to as well. There's still a lot of points to be had. A lot of points up for grabs, and we're confident that we can get enough to sort of finish in a really safe mid-table position.
Yeah, pretty sure we will. James, so tell us about what you see. Obviously, we've got Steve on the touchline, managing you and I in the stands. So, as the fan, tell us what you see, James.
Probably got the best seat in the house, have I? Would you say? Right on the centre line, looking down. Some would argue that I still do miss stuff, but yeah, obviously bird's eye view of the game, both ends, can see where the ball is going to go half the time, because you just know with the good old SSV wind. It's going to get behind something or send it into one of the car parks either end. But yeah, no, I get a very good view. Obviously, being where I am every week, and I can see a lot going on. It is a bit unusual to have a dugout on the far side of the arena instead of in front of you. So it does have its challenges, but we make it work the best we can with what we've got. So
I think you do a great job. Because obviously, like you say, you haven't got the boards, the electronic boards telling you the numbers coming on and coming off.
Yeah, that is tricky. I apologise to Liv and Emma, license once. I both got them mixed up because they had red hair. So I never lived that one down after that game. They constantly reminded me on that one. So
Brilliant.
yeah, that's a good mess up by me on that one. But that was early. So
that's it. It can be tricky, can't it? And when you get visiting players in, you can't see the number that's coming off and the number that's coming on, and
you don't know them as well, so you don't know who you're looking for, and half the time they might have a ponytail that covers the number. So people laugh at me with my little telescope, but I'm there trying to see what number they are, and it has its challenges, but I think we we pull it off, or wing it, people call it. But yeah.
Well, I tell you, mate, if you're winging it, you're doing a bloody good job at it. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. I think you do a fantastic job, James, in the atmosphere before the game with the music and letting people know what the teams are and stuff like that. I think you're doing.
Yeah, I think it all helps because you go to we've seen with the last few games, you go to other grounds and there's nothing like it.
No.
And there's no atmosphere, and it feels so flat, and it's not a match day experience. And you come to SSB, we've got a good arena, we've got a good setup, we've got that, and people think actually it's not bad for women's football, and it might even expand. So even better, which is great.
Yeah, so, hopefully. But just echo what Steve says there. When you come in the ground, James, and you've got the music on, and it's always upbeat music, it gets people in the mood, and I'm sure it gets the players pumped up for it and stuff. Unless they have their own ghetto blaster in the changing room, Steve, and they put music on.
They do.
It's no better than mine, obviously.
I have no control over that music, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm me.
No, it's great. It's a great atmosphere, and obviously the football then follows it, and the football keeps that atmosphere going because the football Steve's team are producing week in, week out is quite something to watch. And as I said before, there's only 2 defeats since Christmas in 7 games, I think.
Yeah, I count. So I've got 7 here on my sheet, minus the cup games.
Yeah, that's it, minus the Chester game. Yeah. There's only 2 defeats, and like we said, 2 very narrow defeats against the top 2 teams in the league, which were Middlesbrough and Cheadle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think both games we were unlucky not to, like I said before, not to get a point from both of them, if not 3 points, to be honest.
Yeah, I certainly felt that we deserved a point from both of them games. To be quite honest, I thought we dominated a lot of possession in both of them games. I think, remember rightly, the Middlesbrough game was another windy one, wasn't it? Was it windy and not as windy as last year against Middlesbrough, but it was a windy game, and it was certainly we frustrated them first half, and we went in at half time 0-0, and one mistake really changed the game. We lost the ball in midfield and they capitalised, and then from then on I thought we were the better team anyway. So we were disappointed not to get anything out of that, and then obviously going away to top of the table Cheadle midweek game, I thought we were excellent in that as well. But again, I've said it lots and lots of times this season. We're doing really well in our third, middle third. That's when we get into the final third. We're not testing the keeper enough, and you've got to test the keeper at our level. So that's something that we're working hard to try and achieve and try and get right. Because I think the rest of the pitch is working really well. So if we just score more goals, I think we'll be right up there.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, James, from your lofty point of view, what's your take on, well, we're talking about the Borough game there. What was your take on the Borough game?
Yeah, that was a tough one because you could see the experience from them as well in that squad. The mid, like Steve said, the second we lost that ball, they were on it and they were straight off on the break. And yeah, we did have some unlucky chances in that game where, like, unfortunately, Steve said, you get to that final third and we just couldn't find the breakthrough really on that game. And Middlesbrough was showing why they were up there as one of the top squads. Yeah, very very same with the Cheadle game. Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe the last minute venue change might have thrown the players off a little bit that night. For me, I'm a sportsman. You have a mindset of where you want to go, where you're going, what time, what you're doing, and maybe playing somewhere a little bit different that maybe they weren't used to or knew of might have been a bit add to the nerves. And I was there, and that it was a great game, and we did deserve. Personally, I thought we deserved 3 points, but it was a very challenging night, and unfortunately, some decisions didn't quite go our way. I'm not normally one to say that, but it was a frustrating night for all. I'd say maybe then we were happy with the point, but we were frustrated that maybe we could have had that little bit of luck. Let's say.
Yeah, I think you've got to give credit to Cheadle because they've done that all season. All season they've been really hard to break down, and then they catch teams on the break, and that's what they did to us. They got the goal, and then we had nearly all the possession of the game. They had a couple of breaks. I think Freya made a great save from Rich Dunlop, 1-on-1. But I think that was the only chance they had second half.
Quite a windy night as well, wasn't it? If I remember as well.
You've got to give Cheadle credit because it's so hard to break down, and playing so well as a team, and the results of the table don't lie, and they deserve to be up there. So yes, we were disappointed.
Turned up.
We were disappointed not to get something out of the game, but they're top of the league for a reason. And
exactly.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, just coming back to the Borough game, are Middlesbrough full time, Steve?
No, not full time.
No, but they have got quite a lot of resources, haven't they? Because you were saying about they piled a lot into
massive resources, big budget. I think they use Middlesbrough's training ground. So they have all the access to all the resources that they have with sports science, all the analysis and stuff like that, and obviously the gym work that they can do and stuff. It's a different level to what we're operating at, and they're geared up to be promoted. So that's their remit this season. They must get promoted. So, I like Mick. Mick's doing a good job. But they're a level above us off the field. But I thought we matched them more than matched them on the field.
Absolutely.
And we've still got to go there. We've still got to go to Middlesbrough next week. So we could have a big say in this title race.
Absolutely.
We need the points as much as Middlesbrough need the points. So we're going up there to win the game. We're not going up there to hand Middlesbrough 3 points because we're in a relegation battle. So we need the points. So we're going up there. We're going up there full force to win the game. So it'll be good.
Absolutely. Do Middlesbrough play at the Riverside, or do they play at a?
No, they play Stockport Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we played them last season, we played them at the Riverside, which was a great experience, which was really good. So yeah, but this I don't think they've had a game in they might have early on in the FA Cup. They might have an FA Cup game, but I think they're solely focused on continuity. That's their home ground. They want to stick to it, keep playing, keep doing what they're doing, and hopefully they're picking up points. I think they're level on points at the top of the league with Cheadle. So it's going to go right down to the wire with them. So, but like I say, we need the points as well. So we're going up there to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, just come back to the Cheadle game. What similar in approach, I think, from both teams to the first game at SSV, albeit slightly different weather conditions. I thought it was an absolute fantastic game, and if there'd have been TV cameras there and even bigger crowd than there was, I think it would have been a really, really good advert for the women's game at that level.
Yeah, I think, any local derby is always going to be tight, and, it's a battle, and, there was the other spice that they were top of the league, and, we beat them in the first game. And so, yeah, it was, I'm sure if from watching it as a fan was better than watching it as a manager, but, because it was frustrating, but, they're the games that you want to be involved in, playing against your local rivals, under the floodlights, which is, you can't beat. It's really good.
Yeah. Was you say you were there at that game, James?
Yes, I was literally next to the dugout, actually, for once.
Right.
So, yeah,
right.
Put my coach voice on, which isn't heard much. Some people were telling me off. But yeah, no, it was a very almost had a non-league-esque to it, because obviously it was Cheadle Heath Nomads ground, and obviously you could see that the season had been quite hard on the pitch, but great facility under the lights. It was freezing cold that night. We were all wrapped up to the heavens, and it was a great. Like Steve said, you've got to give Cheadle the credit, because they are top of the league and they played like a top of the league side, but so did we. We matched them a lot of that game, and
Absolutely.
it was very good to watch as a fan. Yeah, a few ex-players in the squad as well always made it a little bit of a feisty occasion, let's say, maybe. So
that's the thing, like Steve saying, it's a derby, but it's competitive. But as I've said, you don't get any of the histrionics that you get, in certain other levels of the game. When someone gets challenged, they're going down, rolling around like they've been shot. You just, I saw a couple of tasty challenges going in, and people just getting up and getting on with it. And that's what you want to see in football, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you see that a lot in the women's game, even at WSL level, because I take Isla to watch.
Well, I think.
Yeah, go on, mate.
I think I think people rolling around like you mentioned there and killing a bit of time and trying to run the clock down. I think we've seen on Sunday that that could come back to bite you a little bit. I thought Donny tried to manage the game a bit too much. Ended up with 6 minutes injury time, and obviously we scored in the 4th minute of that injury time. So, it's if you're going to do it, you've got to try and do it right without putting the time on the end of the game, really.
Yeah. I mean, on that subject, I thought the referee on Sunday was brilliant. I thought she managed the game really, really well, because she wasn't very old. I don't think she was 2021. She was managing a blood and thunder game, as we often say. She added the time on. She didn't buckle under the pressure, because certainly on my side, I could hear one or two Donny players questioning decisions, shall we say, in quite a forceful manner. But she stood her ground, and fair play to her. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah, I thought she did well. I thought she managed the game well. I think her communication needs improving, but that could be, just an age thing, an experience. But I think I put, in my notes for Stockport County today, that the best thing that she did was added the time that was wasted. She put that on at the end of the game, which obviously we benefited from. So yeah, you've got to say, well done, referee.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for me and James were sat in the main stand, sat in the stand, weren't we, James? And it was a bit chilly. It was a bit fresh, to say the least.
Yeah, I do keep joking that I've ordered the sun every week, but it doesn't seem to appear. So we might get a freak heat wave yet.
James.
Yeah. Well, we might get a free heat wave in a few weeks. Who knows? But
Hopefully.
yeah, we live in hope. But does have its own microclimate, that place. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So Steve, it's the first time we've had you on since before Christmas, I think.
Mhm.
I've got to talk to you about the Tranmere game.
Okay.
7-0. It was a great performance, I think. Would you agree?
Yeah, it was a good performance. Obviously the Cheshire Cup is a cup that we we're the holders at the moment. Was that the first game back after Christmas?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
We had a
So,
few cancellations. Yeah.
yeah, so to come back in that manner and put on a display like we did, and I thought we were ruthless. I thought we were absolutely ruthless that day. We didn't let up from the first whistle, and we really put them to the sword. I know it was only 2-0 at half time, but we really put our foot down second half. And that's how it should be when we play these tier 5 teams. So yeah, it was really pleasing that we did that against Tranmere, because we have struggled against Tranmere in the past. We've lost twice in the finals. We only beat them 3-1 last year. So to really put them to the sword like that was very pleasing, and I was delighted with the girls' application.
Yeah, rightly so. James, you were there at that game? You say you've only missed one game since Christmas.
Yeah, no, I was there. I was on the mic as always. It was that busy. I kept looking up. A goal had gone in, so but I can't even remember who scored which goal. And yeah, just like echoing Steve there, we respected them, but we were ruthless. And and I made a joke with their social media lad that I've befriended since I've kind of started with County, and I said to him, I said, "You must have cringed when you saw you draw us in the cup," and he said, "Yeah, we did." Because he said we knew we'd come here and it would be tough, and you'd show no mercy. And yeah, we did. Yeah, Jess Brady, one of them. Yeah, she was on loan at Tranmere last year, from right, Steve.
That's right. Yeah.
And wow, it's just like watching the female version of Perlo in the middle of the pitch. Sometimes she's so good. She's an absolute. I call her an absolute baller. I think I did on Twitter today, actually. But yeah, if I remember right, she was bossing midfield that game, and wow, just it was incredible. You kept looking at them going, goal, goal, goal. It was like, wow. So
Kept missing it to announce who the scorer was.
yeah. It's quite obvious that day, but yeah, the Cheshire Cup definitely looks good on us, I think.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Was that the Chester game the other week?
Yes. So we
Mm.
played Chester in the semi-final at their place. Quite the contrast to the Tranmere game, really. Probably not our best display. Struggled a little bit. Credit to Chester. Tier 16. Made us really work hard, and Jess Brady was on another level that day. If it wasn't for Jess Brady, we might not have even won that game. She scored 2 to get us into the final, and she was just everywhere. She was absolutely everywhere. So yeah, I'm really pleased with getting to another final.
Yeah. When is what's the date of the final? Just out of interest.
Thursday, the 1st of May.
1st of May, right? Just make a note of that.
At Runcorn Linnets.
At Runcorn Linnets. Is that the team you beat last year?
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah. And then, do you know who that's against yet?
Yes, it's against Polton Vicks from the Wirral.
Right. Okay. Right.
So they're top of their league, tier 6, and they've only been beaten once all season.
Right.
So having a good season. Yeah.
So it'll be a tough game. It's the old Merseyrail team from about 2 years ago now. Yeah, right. 2 years ago, Merseyrail were in tier 4. They got promoted from tier 5 to tier 4. Played for a year but got relegated. Really struggled, and then folded. So it's the majority of their team, and their old manager, run that Bolton Vics team.
Right. And that's the 1st of May. That's certainly something to look forward to, and see if we can get as many fans down there as we can. We'll promote that and plug that in the podcast we do between now and then for sure.
It's a 7:30 kickoff. That
7:30 kickoff. Right. Okay. We'll get that. We'll get that all put out there, and we'll promote that from the podcast side for you as well. Obviously, as we do. So, am I right in saying then, Steve, if you guys win that, does that then take you to the Super Cup final again?
Yes.
Yeah, and that'll be against the team from Manchester, whoever that may be this year.
So in the final of that is Cheadle, and I don't know who else is in it. But
right.
Cheadle are the favourites to win it, just like we're the favourites to win ours. So that could be a bit of a blockbuster, couldn't it?
Couldn't it? So how does that work then? If you guys are in the Cheshire Cup and they're in the Manchester Cup, and there's only
no idea, absolutely
4 or 5 miles between you.
I said that question on Sunday. Yeah.
Why are Tranmere in the Cheshire Cup?
Oh, I know the answer. Somebody told me. So I just remembered it. So Cheadle Stingers used to be Manchester Stingers, who played in the Manchester FA, but they folded, I believe, a couple of years ago. So they reformed as part of Cheadle Town as Cheadle Town Stingers. So they've kept them in the Manchester FA, even though we're 3-4 miles apart. I think Chris told me that one, if I remember rightly.
Well, there you go.
Light bulb moment.
But I still don't understand why Tranmere are in the Cheshire Cup, because they're doesn't make sense.
That's a strange one, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
the old Cheshire Borders, the argument around it.
Yeah. So I think you could choose which one you go in. I think they chose to go. Cheadle chose to go Manchester. They could choose to go Cheshire if they wanted to. So I don't. It's politics. I don't get involved in that. Just cross the white line. Absolutely.
Just send your team out and let your team do the business. That'll do.
Hopefully. That's the idea anyway.
Yeah. So as I was saying before, so since Christmas, seven games, 12 goals, only 2 defeats in those 7 games, and there's been quite a few young players in the squad. So Darcy Bancroft, Aisha, Matilda, Millie, and of course Molly Newton, all quite young.
Yeah.
And
more
than holding.
We are a relatively young squad. Okay, we've got Gemma, Fran, she's a bit older than some, but since I've been at the club, I've always tried to promote youth. We've got a brilliant, unbelievable, as you well know, youth system with Stockport County Ladies. Runs from under 8s right to under 18s. In the junior section, and then we've got an under 23s development. So there is a pathway from under 8s to first team with Stockport County Ladies, and I try and make sure that is used properly. Particular players like Matilda Roundtree is another one who's came through the youth system, who fills in at centre back sometimes and is a great player. But young. Millie Tutton has made a step up in the last few weeks. Played against Chester, had a couple of substitute appearances. Darcy Bancroft is full time with the first team now, so she's part of our first team squad. Again, came up through the youth system, through the under 18s, under 23s briefly, then into the development squad. So, I do make a real point of making sure that we have that pathway that goes all the way through the club. So any player that joins Stockport County Ladies from under 8s has a chance to play for first team if they're good enough and they progress.
That's it. If they put the effort in, and that's something I don't preach to the under 11s. I coach the under 11s, one of the under 11s teams now, and that's something that we say. Look, if you put the effort in, it's there for you.
Absolutely.
And we use these players as examples. And as we've said before, it's no coincidence that these players are role models for the youth groups. All right, they're not full-time professionals, but they're still the role models, and they're still the standard that under 8s, 9s, 10s, and through the groups can aspire to be and get to where they are.
Absolutely. And the youth system is going great guns in its own right. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think we've got something like three age groups in the age county cup finals, Cheshire Cup finals.
Yeah.
So that which is fantastic for the club, that we're producing really good players and really good teams through really good coaching. So it's great to see, and it's really proud to be part of.
Yeah, absolutely. So just jumping back a little bit now, coming back to the league game on Sunday against Doncaster, Doncaster Belles, probably one of the most famous teams in women's football, I think.
Absolutely.
I certainly remember early 90s, those guys, everyone was talking about Donny Belles,
I think they've won multiple FA Cups, haven't they?
They have. Yes, they have. Yeah. So,
and
they brought quite a few with them on Sunday.
Yeah, they did, to be fair. Yeah, they did.
Credit to them coming over in the weather.
Yeah. And I thought, they set up to frustrate us, which they did. They're fighting for the lives there in the bottom two. I thought, again, without trying to repeat myself all the time, we had a lot of possession, dominated the ball second half with the wind. I thought we were excellent first half against the wind.
Yeah.
We only conceded one. We didn't really concede many chances either. A lot of corners and stuff, but we didn't really concede many clear-cut chances for them in the first half. And I thought on the counter-attack, we looked really dangerous. And probably we're unlucky not to go in at 1-1. I thought Jesper had a great chance before half-time.
Yeah.
So then with that strong wind at our backs, we were confident going into the second half. But they set up differently. They went from a diamond to 4-3-3. They frustrated us, and they got to the 94th minute before we managed to score direct from a corner with Levi. And it felt like we got away with one, but it must have felt like a hammer blow to them. They must have been absolutely gutted that we've snatched the draw right at the end, especially because teams around us also dropped points. So that would have been a massive win for them. I think they would have gone out the bottom two and level on points with us if they'd have won that game. So that could be a huge goal for us coming the end of the season. But that would be like a massive loss to them because they played so many more games. There's only got 4 games left, and they've got to go. I think they've got to play Middlesbrough and Huddersfield. They've got to play Fylde, who are bottom, and they've got to play Cheadle as well. So, not easy games. Yeah, not easy games at all. So, it was an important point for us. And I've got to give the girls credit. As frustrating as the afternoon was, and I'm sure James will talk from a fan point of view and yourself, but it was incredibly frustrating. But we kept plugging away and we kept going and we kept working hard. And in the end, we probably got something out of the game that we probably didn't. Well, I wouldn't say we didn't deserve it. I thought we deserved it on possession. We were excellent. But then 2 games we spoke about with Cheadle and Middlesbrough, where we didn't get anything out of the games. If we hadn't got anything out of that one, that would have been really, really hurtful. So, I'm glad we did get something out of it. And like I say, that could be a really important point come end of April.
Definitely. James, what was your take on the Donny Belles game?
Yeah, it was certainly a tough one. Obviously, it did take to the back end of the game for us to get that breakthrough. Typically, I wasn't watching because I was checking the stopwatch. Look down, look up, and the goal had gone in.
So was I. Don't worry.
And I couldn't. I think I had to sit around and ask somebody behind me just to make sure. But it was very challenging, and obviously that last 10-20 minutes, and they were I don't want to say time wasting, but they were tying their shoelaces an awful lot. And I'm glad the referee kind of picked up on that because, as we said earlier, it did come back to bite them. We got that point, and like Steve said, it probably felt like a hammer blow to them, but it was vital for us. And you look at our next run of games, we've got some tough teams to play, and you've got the likes of Leeds and Borough to play, and then Fylde. The bottom of the table, they're going to come. They're going to want to get any point they can get anywhere. So it's every game's a cup final, basically, till the Cheshire Cup. From a fan point of view, I think. But yeah, and I'm pretty sure the girls will give it all their best, and we'll obviously all be there cheering them on and everything through it all. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy road, and they've really got to put the fight in, and I'm confident the girls will do it. Kennedy, Kennedy in the centre of that pitch as captain is strong-minded, and she will. If she feels that we're maybe not giving enough, she'll put the vocals on to get the girls rallied. And the young ones that come in, they're rapid, they're young, they're fast, they're keen. It's great to see them come on and against your older players that I won't name them, just it's to see them coming in and getting their confidence up and thinking, wow, I'm now in the first team and I'm playing against teams such as this. Great. All we want them to do is flourish, and we can build on that in the next couple of seasons, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
But obviously, we've got to focus on the job at the job at hand now up to the end of April, and then the cup final in May, of course. So I think it's the same week, really. But it's going to be tough. But I'm confident the girls can do it, and I'm sure Steve is as well, and everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, we've got 7 league games left now.
Quite a lot.
I've said, like, it's been a disappointing season all round. If we were to win our last 7 games, and it's a big ask, but I think we've got the squad capable of doing it. But if we were to win our last 7 games, we would equal our record points tally ever.
Oh, blimey!
So we say it's been a disappointing season and below our expectations. But we could end the season, equaling our record points tally. And if we'd have won on Sunday, we could have actually gone on to beat that record points tally with 39 points. So, I don't think we'll win every game. I'd like to think we would. Don't get me wrong. I think personally we'll need 2 more wins to be sure of safety. And we've got 7 games to do it in, so we're confident. The girls are frustrated as well that we're not really getting the results in the top end of the pitch. They're frustrated, and because there's some really good players in there, some quality players. So, we're working hard to get that look, and get in front of goal and get us on the winning path. Yes, we've only lost 2 since Christmas, but in the league we've probably only won 1 as well, have we? Barnsley.
Barnsley. Yeah.
So you could say, we've only lost 2 in our last 7, but we've probably only won 1 in our last 7 as well, haven't we? Well, it'll be 5, won't it? So 1 in our last 5. So goal scoring is a real problem for us at the moment. But we need to address it, and we're working hard to do that. And I think if we can, because we've got a great defense. We control games through the midfield. We just start scoring goals, we'll fly up that league. We'll absolutely fly up.
Yeah, that's it. It just feels like you just, not putting any pressure on anybody, but it just feels like if that clicks at the top end of the pitch,
the rest will follow.
Yeah. And that's it. It's not pointing the finger at anybody. It just hasn't clicked for whatever reason, multiple reasons.
That's it. I mean, it's not for the want of trying, is it?
No, absolutely not. 100%.
We've had a lot of injuries as well this year.
Yeah,
a lot more injuries.
The effort the girls have been putting in has been second to none. With the controlling games, it just hasn't happened for us in the final third. And these 7 games, it might happen, and then we could end up being 4th or 5th in the league and thinking, well, what we were worried about 7 games ago. So,
Yeah.
Keep working hard.
That's it. I know, obviously, I've got blue tinted specs on, but and I know you won't take it for granted, Steve, but I don't think you will get relegated. I just do not think that will happen. I genuinely don't. I think the girls put too much effort in. There's too much passion there, and there's too much ability in that squad.
Yeah.
James, would you agree?
I'd like to agree with you.
Yeah, I would. There's a lot of experience there. I'd say if it was a very young squad, I think we'd be really concerned. But we've got the experience, we've got the level heads, and well, not to name one player in particular, but there's a few in the midfield there that I've heard other fans say that, oh, they love a big game. Well, this is big game time of year now. This is when hopefully these wonder goals and things like that come out. You see in the Cheshire Cup, Gemma Lancaster with a 30-yard rocket.
A Super Cup that was.
Yeah, Super Cup. Yeah, long may those kind of goals continue, especially from a centre back. So, yeah, it's going to be a very interesting ride. I think definitely the next couple of months.
Listen, we could go to Norton and win, and then we could go to Middlesbrough and win. That's the job done. So and we're capable of doing that. I'm not saying they're going to be easy. I'm not sitting here thinking, right, we'll definitely get 3 points. No, not at all. But we're capable of beating anybody in this league. Anybody.
Yeah,
no matter where they are.
Definitely.
But they're also capable of beating us. So, it's a really tough league. It's a really difficult league.
Yeah.
So, we'll keep working hard and we'll get there. I'm sure we will.
Absolutely. And I think you just hit the nail on the head there, Steve, with the phrase "keep working hard," because that's what the girls do week in, week out. And I think, again, just from a fan's point of view, not got any inside knowledge in any way, shape, or form, but it looks like a combination of the playing for you, your motivation, and their will to play for County Ladies. It just looks. It looks to the fans, I'm sure James will agree, that it matters to them.
Yeah. They're a really good group, and I can't fault their commitment, their effort, their work rate, their desire. They're a great bunch. We just need to score more goals, and if that clicks with the rest of it, we'll be a real force. So
yeah, that's it. And blooding these youngsters this season, I think next season could be quite an exciting one for County Ladies. Mm-hmm. I would say.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Absolutely. So, gentlemen, that just about brings us to time up. Many thanks for your time. Oh, sorry, just before we go, just a bit of housekeeping. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe the Scarf Bergara War podcast channel. And if you are downloading it on Spotify or Amazon or wherever you get your podcasts, thank you for your downloads. I was talking to Russ that weekend from the main podcast, and the 3 episodes we've done prior to today have had over 1,000 interactions. 600 views plus on YouTube, 400 downloads. So thank you very much for your support.
Excellent.
Very much appreciated.
Well done. Brilliant effort.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. So, Steve, thanks for your time. All the best on Sunday. And James, thanks for your time. All the best on. Are you there Saturday for town as well?
Yes, I will be, as always.
Well, you just can't stay away, can you?
Well, be boring without me, wouldn't it?
I dread to think what music they'd play if you weren't there.
Oh, God. It'd be Abba's greatest, I'm sure.
Oh, God, no.
Oh, dear.
Right. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for your time, and I will speak to you in a couple of weeks' time. Cheers. Yep. Thank you.